All right, so we, on this one, trying to figure out, we're moving from a regular one to a normal curve. Okay, so a normal curve is always going to look like the bell shape that I had up there. So we have a mean of -4 and a standard deviation of 4. And we were trying to go between -2 and zero. Okay. So if my mean is here, I want to figure out how many standard deviations away I am from there. So if my standard deviation is 4, if I add 4, -4 plus 4 would be 0. So this would be 1 standard deviation. Okay, so that'd be 1. To go from -4 to -12, I'd go -4. Where's -8? -8 right here. I'd go to -8 and then -12. So this would be 1 standard deviation and then one more standard deviation. So from here to here, it's actually 2 standard deviations. All right. So now back to the z-score formula, which is how many standard deviations you are away. So like I know on the left side, I am 2 standard deviations away. You know what? You don't have to actually do that because we already have that. I know z is equal to 2. This would be an alternate way to do this. So you could actually find it this way. You say, okay, my x is -12, my mean is -4, and my standard deviation is +4. So minus a negative becomes plus. That'd be -8/4, which is -2. Negative on this one because it is moving to the left. So this is just an alternate way. You can just look at the picture and count like this, or you could do the formula. To do the right side, um, there's the left side, there's the right side. So the right side would be 0 minus a -4 divided by 4, which would be 0 plus 4. 4/4 would be 1. Okay. So this is like the algebraic way, kind of. And then this is just the looking at the graph way. All right. So the shading corresponds to -2 and 1. So when you have your normal curve, again, the mean would be in the middle. So my mean would be -4. My standard deviation away. Oh no, we're going to a normal curve. So my mean, on like a basic one, they say the mean is 0 on like the first picture I drew, and the standard deviation 1. You add 1, you add 2, you add 3. On this side, you subtract 1, subtract 2, subtract 3. Um, so now you know your z scores are -2 and 1. So you just shade between -2 and 1. So yes, I think I was fixing to make that one harder than it was, which is maybe. So like here, let me go back. I'm gonna go back to the computer and do another one and kind of show you. No, I don't want to share my webcam. Whoops. Um, Let me go back to here. Okay, so like this one, like on this one, I'm going from -7 or less. So if my mean is -5, my standard deviation is 2. So -5 to 2, like if I subtract 2 once, I get to here. So my standard deviation, I'm 1 less than this one. So since I'm 1 less than, it's going to be -1. So my line right here is going to go at -1. And then I'm doing less than, so I just shade on the less than side. Did I say correct? Oh, there it is. Let me do a harder one here, I guess. So like this one is 2. My standard deviation is 4. So 2 plus 4 would be 6. So that's 1 away. So I put a 1 right here. I put it at 1. And then 2 to -2. 2 minus 4 would be -2. So that'd be -1. I'm only 1 standard deviation less than this. So I go to -1, and then I'm shading between. So yeah, I wouldn't even do all that z-score stuff that I started to do. I would just look at the picture. Because Janice, since the mean is 2 right here and my standard deviation is 4, it's how many times do I add or subtract 4? So to go from 2 to 6, I add 4 once. So that's why it's 1 away. To go from 2 to negative 2, I subtract 4 once. Right? Because 2 minus 4, I subtract it once, and that gets me to negative 2. So it's how many times you add it when you're going to the right and how many times you subtract it when you're going to the left. So like on this one, it says greater than negative 8. So like if I'm going from negative 2, is this one going to be a decimal? If I'm going negative 2 and I'm trying to get to negative 8, so just kind of you pull your calculator up just so you can see my thought process here. Negative 2, what's my standard deviation? My standard deviation is 4. So it's how many times I subtract 4 if I'm going to the left. So subtract, oh man, I've lost it. 2 negative minus 4 gives me to negative 6. So this one's a little tricky. So that puts me at negative 6. If I subtract 4 again, that goes to negative 10, right? So what actually this one is, so if I'm going to add 4, get back to negative 6, I only need to subtract 2 more to get to negative 8. So this one actually goes at 1.5. Okay. Actually be 1.5 away. Now on one like this, it may be easier to use the z-score formula and work it out algebraically. But that is up to you. Like it should be easy numbers to add and subtract like that.